I just noticed you said that you're not aware of the UN having any relationship to any Santianip affiliate,
To
and
Sankyane at this stage, yes. I mean,
like the World Harmony Foundation, do they
we're aware,
remain?
as I've pointed out to you, the
Sure.
World Harmony Foundation remains in the Global Compact. They'll have to review what they're going to do with that.
And I wanted to ask you I'd asked yesterday, Dan Thomas, on this recommendation number 5, which said the Secretary General should advise DPI to sensitize the presidents of the main bodies of the United Nations about the need to comply and demonstrate compliance with applicable regulations for organizing exhibits in public areas, et cetera. And I asked him to state whether the President of the General Assembly has received such a communication from the USG of DPI. I haven't heard back from him. I guess I will ask you, has this relatively straightforward recommendation been implemented, and if not, why not?
Part of the point is that it takes time to do the follow-up. We are in the process of doing the follow-up. We'll provide further details on that as it proceeds. The idea that it will happen, that all of these actions can happen immediately is not the way policy works. Policy has to go through several stages, but we are looking at all the recommendations, and we'll try to follow up with all of them.
It said that the audit cutoff date was the end of 2015. When did the Secretariat, DPI in particular, receive a copy of the audit to respond to? Because this recommendation is like, it really doesn't require much work, and it's now
Well,
April.
the audit, as
Can you
you
say a
know,
date when
the
it was
audit,
provided?
as you know, formally becomes a document on the 22nd of April. This is even in advance of that, but the follow-up is already proceeding.
No, sure, but the Secretary, there's management responses, there's put in italics, there's things at the end, so I'm just
Yes,
asking you,
and-
when
and-
did
and
the
different
Secretariat
management,
get this?
and different parts of the UN system got involved at different times as was relevant.
And just one last thing, because of this Habitat announcement today, and because of the involvement of Habitat being listed in the audit as having had a failure to do due diligence with these Sunken if affiliates, are there partners for Habitat, for the conference that was just announced and signed for? Because what they're saying here is that Habitat partnered without doing any due diligence. You've said that is how, at least in one instance, this content got into UNTV. There's other instances. What is the status of Habitat's partnering programs and its due diligence?
Well, certainly Habitat will have to do the due diligence for all of its meetings, including the ones that we just announced in Quito, and we will make sure that they go about that process.
So they've carried out the recommendations, because one of the recommendations is for them to do that.
It's for all parts of the UN
Right.
system that are affected to do the follow-up as needed to the work of this audit.